What is up YouTube? It is your boy OTJ Trades back with another video, and on this video it is going to be a trade recap on today's trade. I did ended up taking a trade on gold, um, and yeah, we ended up losing today. Um, it was really a low risk trade. I wouldn't say it was a good trade. From my point of view, honestly, I took the trade because it gave me confirmation to take the trade, but the overall quality of the trade wasn't really that good. All right, so let me just show you guys basically what my thought process was going on to the day. Right, so on NQ, right, on for NQES, it's going to be the same bias, right? If we go to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, um, as you guys can see here, we were creating, let me just back this up. We were creating highs. As you guys can see, we were bullish during Asia session on Sunday. We were bullish throughout these 4 hour candles, right? We go to the 1 hour, we are creating higher highs and higher lows, right? But then at 9 a.m. or all right, during market open, we still continue to pump. We still continue to go up. Where we go to the when we go to the 5 minute, we looked bullish. When we go to the higher time frames, we looked bullish as well, right? So my thought process was we have a demand here that we do have. I was waiting for a retest back, which I did ended up getting, but I was waiting for a break of the candle, which I did not end up getting, which saved me from taking this trade for buys, right? We did ended up, well, this zone did end up getting disrespected, which, that's why I did not take any setups here. If we go to the S&P, same thing. What I was waiting for was these demands right here to get tapped into, this one right here, and it just obliterated all of these demand zones, right, to go for buys. You know, I I was like, okay, disrespecting my zones. I'm not gonna trade the S&P or NQ. Right before market open, everything was pumping. S&P gave out a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful demand zone right here. It gave out a beautiful demand zone with the 13, well, not a 13, but it also gave a break of the candle entry, and you could have taken this for a 1 to 5. Look at how beautiful that is, and that was pre-market. That was like 825, 820ish. um and then market open, it gave it a little bit of more pump, which ended up catching that big RR. But for gold now, so gold was a big mistake. We didn't have news, by the way. We didn't have news at all. We didn't have news. We didn't have medium impact news. We didn't have high impact news. So this candle right here literally gave me the idea to go for buys, right? Yes, if I go to the higher time frames, we are bearish on gold. Like, we are consolidating on gold. We are bearish as well. We're consolidating. This area is consolidating, but we did break out during this candle right here. We did break out right here during this candle. I marked out this 15-minute demand zone right here, and I waited for the retest. The thing that I didn't like was that the EMAs were all slapped in the middle, right? We did have a push to the upside right here. We took out so many highs. We took out this Asia session high. We took out some highs over here. But what I was waiting for, or what I didn't like about this, was that the next candle immediately came down and tapped into my zone, right? So I decided to enter this trade right here off of break of the candle, which it did give me the break of the candle. I ended up risking around $92, and I was trying to target the high, the New York latest high, basically that one candle that it gave me. Um, Unfortunately, it did stop me out. I didn't lose $92. I ended up losing 81. I did close out the trade pretty early, or earlier, before I got stopped out. Um, but yeah, reason why I wanted to take this trade was just because of this one candle that it gave me. As you guys can see, it literally rejected. It literally looks so ugly on the 1 hour, 30 minute. It literally looks like we're just consolidating. But I still decided to take a chance on this trade just because we had a 15-minute demand zone. We had a push to the upside. But the only downside of this trade is that it immediately came back to tap into my zone, which isn't really a bad part, but it's just like, it just basically makes you lose a little bit more confidence in the trade, just because usually with demand or supply setups, it takes about either 2 to 3 candles to come back into your zone, not immediately. But we didn't have news, and this is why I wanted to trade. I wanted to place this trade was because we didn't have news. I was like, okay, we don't have news. We just pushed it up to the upside. We closed above these highs, these Asia session highs. We didn't close up. We also closed above this Asia session high, the London session high. So it gave me a good idea to go for buys. We also had that 15-minute demand set up, obviously. But what I didn't like, immediately came back to my zone. Higher time frames are consolidating. We are overall bearish on gold, but during the 5 minute, I do trade on the 5 minute, so I like the 5 minute. But yeah, this was I wouldn't say an A plus setup. This was just more like a setup that I did like, and it was more like a 50-50 setup. That's how I would say it. It was more like a 50-50 setup because it did end up giving me the break of the candle as well, but it just ended up losing. But yeah, it was just a 50-50 setup. I decided to take a chance on it, and it is what it is. I am currently on a losing streak. I am lost on Friday, Monday, and today. Won't be trading tomorrow, boys. I am currently down $145 on the week or on the month. Which is fine. We still have a month left. Hopefully, we can turn this around. But yeah, boys, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys join the Discord. And yeah, boys, make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok. Other than that, boys, that's gonna be it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.